hello, and extremely sorry for the internet disturbance. The connection just got lost the last time, just a few minutes back while we were online. So, also I would like to apologize for not coming online for the past couple of, probably a little more than a couple of weeks. I was just kind of stuck with a few other commitments, but I thought what better day would it be than the International Yoga Day to again come back and have these short 10 to 15 minutes ka online session with all of you guys. So here I am with the topic for today, obviously on yoga because it is the International Yoga Day today, and I wish you all a very very happy International Yoga Day. I hope and I wish that you continue to spread the joy of yoga. You continue to keep doing the yoga as you have always been doing. That will really help you to reach newer heights of prosperity in your lives. Alright, so the session for today, or the topic for today that I have chosen, is of course on yoga. Yoga, you need to rethink. It's time that we reiterate, and it's also time that we redo certain things the right way. Now, what is it that I really want to say is this: we need to rethink the way we are doing our yoga. What I mean is, if you ask me personally, for me personally, yoga is something that actually happens with your life or in your life post that has been rolled off. So, for example, you are probably on the yoga mat doing your 108 Surya Namaskars, or you are on the yoga mat doing your Shirshasana and the Halasana and all the different postures, but once the mat is rolled off, if you are really going to drink water out of a plastic bottle, or if you are going to use the one-time use straw and then just dispose it of somewhere for it to stay there forever, I think we are all being extremely unyogic by doing that. So it is time that we all rethink the way in which we are actually doing yoga. So yoga really does not teach us to create garbage. I think it teaches us to be not in tune, not just with our inner selves, but also with the belongings and our surroundings. And that we rethink about what is it that we do in our day-to-day lives, which will contribute the way in which we are performing our yogas. Second, it is also time to rethink, it's also time to reiterate a few facts and also to bust a few myths about yoga. The thing is, Patanjali, the great sage, has actually written down the 8 limbs or the Ashtanga of yoga. Now, what they really are the first is the yama, the second is the niyama, the third comes the asanas, then comes the pranayama, then comes the dhyana, the dharana, the samadhi, and all of those things later on. Even before we attempt, now there are more than 84 lakh asanas that have been practiced over generations. Unfortunately, today we land up knowing only 84 of them, and we probably have landed up not even knowing the names of 12 of those. So what we first really need to do is to commit ourselves to the first 2 limbs of the Ashtanga or the Ashtanga of yoga, that is the yama and the niyama, and then probably comes your asanas, the pranayams, and the rest of the things. Now what exactly is yama? Yama is basically self-restraint, it's basically self-control. Niyama is basically for the regulations. For example, if there is a red signal on the road, it simply means that you just need to stop the vehicles, irrespective whether there are people crossing on the road or they are not crossing. So that is niyama. These are very small things in life, but this is essentially what really yoga teaches us. It teaches us to be in tune with our surroundings and in tune with all the things that are happening in and around us. So that is the yama, that is the niyama, and then comes the asanas. And post you master the asanas, I think a true guru would actually go about then teaching you the pranayama, and then the dhyana, the dharana, and the samadhi part of it. So it's time that we reiterate the sequence in which yoga really needs to be done. The last point that I would like to emphasize on is to redo. What I really mean by redo is we need to start doing the yogasans probably the right way. We have got a whole lot of people who are practicing yogas. Thanks to the lockdowns for the past months, I haven't seen people on the roads with their yoga mats and doing the so-called yogas. But I think once the lockdown is just taken off, people are again going to be back on the streets with their yoga mats, with the plastic bottles, and doing the yogas. But I think it is time that we need to redo the asanas the right way. We really need to relearn the art of doing every single asana the right way. What I'm actually going to do right now is, every time you start doing your yoga, the first thing that you learn in yoga, the first asana that you learn in yoga is probably the Tadasana. Tadasana is considered to be the simplest of all the asanas, but let me quote the legendary guru of yoga, Mr. B.K.S. Iyengar. He said, if you're able to stand in Tadasana even for 10 minutes, you just don't need to practice any other asanas. Now, post I started following or I started doing the Tadasana, I really how true he is, how profound thoughts he has behind doing the simplest of the asanas, the Tadasana. What I'll do is I'll probably stand up right now. We'll need to show people how exactly Tadasana is to be done. Let us see how Tadasana is really to be done, for which I think we'll need to come and stand here. Just come over. Alright, so what we all know probably today is the way we do Tadasana is, standing with our 2 feet. Probably both your hands by the side. So there are some people who stand with the hands tall up above their head. That is what Tadasana is all about. But let me tell you now the right and the most important way in which you are going to stand, because it's so important for all the other asanas to fall in place, that you learn to first stand perfectly right on your 2 feet. Alright? So you just need to come a little ahead. No, you come ahead. It's okay, you come ahead. Alright. Now what I'm going to show you is how you really need to stand on your 2 feet right. My left feet will not be in Tadasana and my right feet will be actively engaged in Tadasana, and probably you can then see the difference between the 2 feet. Now this is the normal way for people to stand in Tadasana. Alright. What I'm now going to do is I'm going to engage my right leg actively and put it into the Tadasana form. For which what I need to do is I just need to lift my leg and I need to stretch my toes. I need to. Are you able to show it then? Alright. And you're going to stretch your toes as far as you can, and you're going to try and create a gap between the fingers. Okay? Once you do this, you're going to just lift this leg up and you're going to push your ankles behind. You're going to push the ankle of the right leg behind and then stand. The right leg is definitely not completely in Tadasana yet, but still there is a difference between the way the right leg is and the way the left leg is. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my left leg also back into Tadasana now, for which I'm going to lift it up and I'm going to stretch it. And I'm going to stretch it in a way that you can actually see that there are gaps between the fingers. So this is the way in which you should be standing. I'm just going to lift it up and I'm going to stretch the ankle behind. So this is as far as the foot is concerned. Once you're standing like this, you should be able to feel the ground with all your 5 fingers right back up to your ankle, as well as the metatarsals of the foot should be firmly on the ground. This is how your feet should be while you're doing Tadasana. When you move upwards, your knees should not be loosened, they should be completely interlocked. You need to pull your knees inside. If you can just see this, you need to pull your knees inside. Alright? So that's your feet, that's your knees, and if you come behind, your hips should not be, hanging around. They should be completely squeezed in. So your knees should be locked, your hips should be completely squeezed in, your chest, and you need to come in the front, I think. Your chest should be upright. You should be lifting your chest upwards. You should be opening your chest wide open, because this is certainly not the way in which you're supposed to stand. You will have to stand like this with your chest wide open, with your shoulder blades completely pressed down, your hands by your side. So there are also forms of Tadasana where you just raise your hands and fold them up, but if that's not possible for the time being, it's okay. You can just have your hands by your sides, the fingers of the hands as well opened up. So this is the complete way in which a Tadasana body would look like. Once you think that you are in the Tadasana posture, you will need to do a reality check. Now what the reality check is, you need to close your eyes and Post closing your eyes, if you still feel the spinning around happening, if you still feel that your body is kind of shaking, it only means that your Tadasana is still not correct. You still have not learned to stand on your 2 feet with the weight equally being distributed. So the reality check goes, post your Tadasana posture, post your, spread out your legs and the fingers, post your block your knees, post your got your hips squeezed in, the chest wide open, the shoulder blades down, hands by your side. You will need to close your eyes and stand. This is truly a reality check of whether your Tadasana is being performed correctly or not. So while doing this, while your eyes are shut down, if you still feel that your body is kind of shaking, you're moving, or there's some spinning that is happening, you're able to see the entire Brahmanda in front of you, there is still something wrong that is going on in your Tadasana. So this is the very first asana in yoga, and I think अगर ये ही नहीं ठीक से जम रहा है तो बाकी के सारे आसनों की तरफ जाना भी it is pointless. So it is time that we rethink about yoga practices. It is time that we reiterate a few facts and bust a few myths about yoga, and it is time that we redo all the asanas the right way. What Mr. B.K.S. Iyengar said truly was, every single asana has got a brain. Now what profound this thought is, if you have to stand in Tadasana, you need to know what the brain of this asana is. The brain of this asana really lies in your little finger, the little toe here. The little toe here, that's really the brain of this asana. That is from where you need to feel the energy flow from the ground, from beneath your legs, up to your entire whole body, right up to your brain. So the little toe is the brain for Tadasana. If you have to do the Shirshasana, it is your little finger that is the brain of this asana. And every single asana has got its own brain. So while you're doing the asanas, you need to learn to identify rather what is the brain of this asana and then perform the asana. Alright, so that is what I had to tell you with regards rethink, reiterate and redo the yogasanas. I can only hope that on this International Day, for the ones who are already doing their yogasanas, please continue doing so. Yoga is capable of giving you much more than just the external appearance of a flat stomach or a good thigh or a good butt or an ageless skin. It's capable of giving you a lot more things than just weight loss and fat loss. Yoga will essentially teach you to look at your inner self. It will tell you and it will help you understand that you don't need to look up to find the God. God is just within you. Alright, so that is all about the session for today. If you've got any comments, if you've got anything that you want to share, anything that you want to tell me, please put it down in the comments. I'll be coming in online the next Sunday as well. I've got my own topic already prepared. But if you guys need something else from me, just put it down in the comments, or just call me, WhatsApp me, whatever, and let me know what is it that you want to know. So that's all from me for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for patiently watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, and again wish you all a very happy International Yoga Day. Alright, so do we have any questions right now on the screen, or are we done with it? Okay, fine, perfect. Thank you so much and have a very nice